Hey everyone, it's adventure time again. We are out at the Foothills Trail, going down the Table Rock side. Now I'm doing a little bit of voiceover work on this one because my audio equipment was definitely having some problems. My intro got completely cut out on this video, and at the end of this video I'll be doing a little more voiceover work because the weather got really bad, and it just took a toll on my equipment. The microphones were not working on my GoPro, on my AirPods, my phone. It sounded like I was underwater when I was talking, and then the flash flood of water we had just kind of washed out any audio I had anyway, so I had to do a little voiceover work on this one. This is my first time doing this, so kind of bear with me on that. Here we are, we're just walking into Table Rock now, getting the trail started. It's about a 6-mile hike to Lighthouse Point is where we're going to be camping for the night, so it just ends up being an overnighter. The weather turns really bad on this one. This is definitely the hardest trip I've done. I almost didn't make it out. The first time I almost had to stay out there an additional night and go into kind of emergency mode. I got lost twice on this trip. Oh, I didn't get lost twice. I got lost once, and then another time I had to reroute at the end of this trip, which was the first time I ever had to do kind of an emergency route out. And that was partly due because of this part right here. This is where I kind of got stuck on the way back out. This was completely flash flooded, watered out. You could not cross this rock crossing right here. And so I had to figure out how to get across this, and then it crosses back over downstream. And I will voice over some more of this as we go when it's needed, but enjoy the video.
All right, so how unpredictable the weather is around here. I see blue skies up there, the sun shining through, and it's warming up. It's supposed to be thunderstorms all day, but who knows. But it's hard to plan these things around the weather. One thing concerning me a little bit is my knee is a bit tender. I need to take a little vitamin I for that. And these river crossings, when I'm rock hopping, if we get a lot of rain, those could get washed out. Be a little more difficult to cross coming back. We'll see. Look at the sky up there. Thunderstorms. I know I'm going to eat these words later, but well, you never know. Just get out here, just be prepared for whatever. Sometimes it ends up turning out being a nice day. Moral of the story, just get out there and be prepared. And natural bridge formations form themselves together for thousands of years. For all y'all don't think you can get out here to the Foothills Trail, be inspired with this guy. He's going for it, man. I mean, it's gonna take him 1,000 years to finish the trail, but I love his determination. Good luck, buddy. I really hope this weather holds up. Just checking in at the 2-mile mark. Leg's doing all right. At about 700 feet of elevation, just under 2 miles. So it's holding up good. I'll tell you this weather though. I saw this rain, moisture in the air. Humidity is like way up. There's no wind, so it's not hot in the 60s. It's sticky, so wouldn't mind a little breeze right now. Some mountain ranges behind me. Little mini Table Rock. Let's keep going. the worst about backpacking is this moment when you're taking a break after you've been hiking. You're sweating, your back's all sweaty, and you gotta put your backpack back on, and it's all wet and gross. I don't like that part. Time to man up. I know I spoke too soon. That weather's starting to move in. I can feel it. Pick up the pace. All right, Pinnacle Mountain, I have you. Oh, gassed. Just climbed 1,600 feet in a couple miles. Been a total of like 3.5 miles right here total. But the last 2 miles have been all uphill. That's those rock faces earlier in the video over there. So we walked along that ridge down and back up here. It's a tough hike. It's tougher than I thought it'd be. Just keeps going up. We're not even at the top. How's that for a view? I'm literally rock climbing now. That's the top, I think. All right, it goes up a little more. Wow. Wow. That was worth the climb. What was that? 1,700 feet. This gets a little scary. Oh, give you a little vertigo right there. Bald knob. Alright, at the top of the mountain here. Now I'm officially on just the foothills trail. There's those little campsites, you know, all along here. It's pretty open up here. I mean, you don't have to really worry about too much deadfall, I guess. But all these trees are damaged. These are more burners of fire up here. The wind's gonna keep kicking up here though. And I don't see any water anywhere. So it's already starting to rain. I'm in search of a spot where I can start setting up close to water, where wind and lightning aren't gonna kill me in the middle of the night. Really? People camping out here? Be a little rough on the back. unofficially out of water, but according to the map, should be some not too far from here, and that's where we're going to set up camp tonight. It's just cool views everywhere. Yeah, I'm going around the other side of the mountain now. The wind's coming in. Big rock outcrop over here. It's pretty cool. I've only seen 3 other people out here. Well, one family, one guy by himself, and then looks like a guy and his father. So not too many people out here. All right, we're almost there. The campsite here. It's still almost a half a mile from water though, so, and it's not really any good spots for hammocks. It's back over here. That's probably the poop trail. Any little side trails going off the campsite are typically the poop trail. Don't want to go down there. So I'm following this because 0.2 miles is another, this lighthouse point, and then 0.2 past that is water. So that's what we're gonna call home for the night. We did 2,100 feet of elevation. We'll be at about 6 miles when we get to this. So it'll be over 6 miles. It's cool how it opens up over here though. You can tell I definitely need some water. A little parched. I ran out. And I just haven't wanted to stop. We're about a boulder rolling down on me here. This creepy cave up here. Noise wasn't in there. Yeah, that's there. Big rocks. I was all the way up on the top of that, which means tomorrow I'm gonna have to hike back up it. This campsite should be somewhere around here. Alright, here's the campsite. A couple things that bug me about this campsite. Down tree, giant down tree, campsite. Man, I ain't trying to have a tree fall on me. But this is a pretty cool spot. All right, my bug net ready to go. Hammock's up, still gotta put the underquilt on. Make myself a little something to eat here. A lot more bugs than I thought there'd be. Hopefully if we get some wind. It's like I want just the right amount of wind. Not too much wind to where I'm blowing around, but enough to get the bugs to go away. I mean, I guess we are, this is officially my last winter 2021 winter trip. And spring officially starts in a couple days, on Saturday. It's also my birthday week. So, better way to spend it than be out here. I actually ran into a couple hikers when I was down getting water. They were just finishing up the whole foothills trail. So they're on their last 6 miles of a 70, I think the whole thing's 77 miles.
that was cool. And they said like a couple days ago they ran into some really bad weather, and it was just horrible. And I'm not even sure what the plan is for tomorrow yet. Just gonna rest. I gotta eat. I haven't eaten anything all day except for some beef jerky. Just gonna make a fire, but this isn't an actual campsite. There's no fire ring. You know, I hiked off the Foothills Trail and set up in the trees up around these rock croppings here. And I don't want to make a fire ring and destroy the environment around here. So that's not really a cool thing to do. Follow all the rules. You're allowed to camp up here wherever, as long as you're 100 feet off the trail and 100 feet away from water. So I'm legit. They don't want you building fire rings everywhere. And the actual campsite back there, that lighthouse point, it was really cool with all the rock croppings and all that stuff, but there was so many downed trees that freaked me out a little bit, especially if we've got bad weather coming in and it gets windy, you know, and trees all down like that. And I didn't see anywhere to really set up a hammock because it's rocks. I can't tie my hammock to rocks and these trees. But the cool thing is, like, I'm up here on a kind of a bank, a little bit of a slope, but since I'm in a hammock, it doesn't matter. Officially in a semi-hunkered down mode. Rain is coming in. Clouds are coming on over the mountains here. This is where it gets real. It's just been a casual stroll in the park up to this point. Lollygagging my way up here, getting all set up. But I just had some beef stroganoff, and it's about to get real. I saw the rain bands on the radar just a minute ago. They look pretty bad. So I need to start thinking of, if it gets super bad, worst case scenario, what am I gonna do? You know, you can't do something stupid. You don't want to be getting up and trying to hike. I did 6 miles and over 2,000 feet of elevation today. There's no way. I'll drop the tarp down more, get a better angle on it, get it down lower to the hammock, staked out really well. So no rain's getting blown up under there. If I have to, I can put on all my rain gear. And actually sleep in my rain gear, which actually helped keep me warm, because it's actually a little cooler than I thought. I'm actually a little chilly, and one thing I brought was my vest under here that I have, because I didn't want to carry a big jacket, and my rain jacket. So this is what I have to keep me warm. I do have a balaclava go over my head. I do have rain pants. I have another shirt, so I can double up my shirt layers. Keep the vest on, rain jacket, balaclava. I've got wool gloves that I carry with me. I got 2 pairs of wool socks. Put the rain pants on over my regular pants. Bundle up, down sleeping bag, a down quilt. So I know I'll be warm. Now comes the fun part, just waiting and seeing how bad this thing gets. The timing was pretty good. I mean, it didn't rain other than a little sprinkles for just a couple minutes. Didn't rain the entire day coming up here. It was just overcast. The humidity was a little higher than I want it to be. I mean, it was only in the 60s, so it was cool out, but humidity was a little higher than I wanted it to be. Just made it feel kind of sticky. But it's cooling off now, and the rains is a-coming. The funny thing is, at home, I have issues sleeping as it is. I'm not a good sleeper. One of the things I do to help me sleep sometimes at home is white noise. And one of the white noise things I do is this sound right here. The biggest concerns right now are wind and rain. Rain like this is fine. Even if it gets heavier than this, it's fine because it's coming straight down. The issue is if the wind starts kicking up and blowing the rain around, it's going to be really hard to keep the tarp, you know, in place and angled right, because, you know, this tarp, it's a diamond shape. So I've got the top dropped down really low.
So I would bring it down as low as I can. Keep water from splashing up on this. All my stuff's underneath me. And I've got the bug net. Bug net will help keep me warm as well. Keep wind out and rain. Actually help keep some of the rain out as well. So I'll be good to go. We'll just see how bad it gets. That's all you can do, man. So you see where I'm at. That right there. That's gonna be interesting. Real interesting. Clouds and fog moving in. I'll set it back there. I'm getting enveloped in clouds now. That's really creepy. Rain. Definitely still have to tell into the winter months. Obviously, trees are all, Sleepy Hollow looking. No leaves on them yet. They're all just starting to sprout a little bit. Soon, this will all be green. You won't even be able to see a lot of the views. Not that I can see the views now anyway because of all the clouds. This is what I call home for the night. Cozy up in here, watching a little Netflix. Light down there. Turn it on. I can see a little better. Ridgeline. I got one of these phone holders for your Ridgeline, which is pretty cool because you can just lay here and relax. Got my headphones in. Watch movies, especially on a rainy day. Got plenty of down sleeping bag, extra down blanket, and my underquilt. Rainfly seems to be holding up. Bug net. Zipper's really sketchy. Took me a couple tries to get back in here. We got the bunch up. Warm in here though, that's for sure. Getting here, I gotta start moving these things out because I start getting sweaty. This is what we call home for the night. So here's a new thing about this way. Something about camping in a hammock with a tarp up over you in these kind of conditions. This is really great. Right now we have so much moisture in the air and there's clouds coming through here. If you look out here, you can barely see this fog. It's not really fog, it's clouds. And because it's like this smoke, it's coming right under the tarp. You can see it in the air all around. And it's hitting the tarp and condensating on the inside. So that's a problem. That's something I never even thought of was, if you've got clouds and fog coming through, it's air that at that point it's going to move right up underneath your gear, and when it hits the tarp and stuff, it's going to condensate and get wet. Hopefully we don't get some of the cloud cover gets higher in elevation or moves above us, and I'm not sitting in these clouds all night, because all this cloud and fog is moisture. That's a pro tip for you. Alright, so far I'm the rain's coming down harder than it's calmed down yet. Hopefully we get through the night, stay dry. Still haven't decided how I want to handle tomorrow, depending on how long this weather goes on. We'll see. Just frustrating because I know it's gonna be crap tomorrow, crappy weather. It's like I'm not gonna want to stay here in a hammock all day.
But I know the day after tomorrow, like right after the weather clears tomorrow, probably later in the day or in the evening, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. And then if I bail out, I'm going to be mad because right when I'm getting home, it'll be like beautiful weather, and I'll be like, dang it. All right, get our first signs of thunder and lightning. Yeah, you have to hear that. Pretty far off right now. Hopefully it stays that way. Severe weather warning. Let's go camping. Sometimes, man, I don't know. It looks like a lot of that. Right now, yeah. Cloud cover is gone. Passed through. I can still see some of it, but it's not as thick as it was, which means less condensation. So that's nice. Alright, I'll come back to you if it gets a little more severe. I do got some water getting down there somewhere. I don't know where and why. That did take longer to get a little more serious. It's got some gust of wind, and you can feel the blowing rain in here. Dang it. Come on. It's gonna be a long night. All I have to do is hunker down. I'm still good. Good dry. Be alright. Alright. It's really coming down. We are in hunkered down mode. Good thing is, I got no moisture up there, which is the most important place. As you can see, there's definitely some condensation by moisture up there. And we got a little sideways action going. I got my rain jacket and my pack cover covering up everything down there. Another wave. Don't you wish you were here with me? I do this voluntarily for fun. It's involving me. Oh man. If it ain't raining, you ain't training. I'm bone dry up here. I got nothing up here. It's perfectly dry. And that's the most important part because that's where my head is. You know, hard above me. I think we'll be good. I don't know about this tarp though. Now, I've had this tarp out before and it does the same thing. The moisture forms up underneath it. And that wasn't in the clouds or in fog. That was just in cooler weather. And you think, you know, circulation is getting under, you wouldn't have a condensation problem there. So I don't know. It's a waterproofing problem with it or actual condensation. We'll revisit that one. We had a big, that was a lot worse than I thought it was down there. Finally got out, checked the underquilt, soaking wet. So that corner right over there, that corner of the tarp just was not pitched quite low enough, and just enough rain was blowing underneath there that it was hitting that top corner, which is, you know, my feet don't even reach all the way down there. So I wasn't feeling it or realizing it. And now it's soaked through the underquilt into the hammock. Luckily, like I said, my feet don't go all the way down there. I can scoot up. I still got the part of the hammock which is completely dry. I got out, I repitched the
I got out and repitched the tarp to mitigate as much as I could. But yeah, luckily it's not that cold. I don't know what the temperature is out right now, but it's the 50s, what it feels like. So it's not super cold. If it were like in the 30s and that was happening and this getting this wet, that could be a big problem. But there really is no wind right now. The rain is dying off a little bit here, which will be nice. Definitely gonna have to hike out tomorrow. Its weather's gonna be twice as bad as it is right now. Tomorrow, according to tomorrow we'll talk about tornadoes and stuff. And wind. We'll have wind tomorrow. It'll be 30-mile-an-hour gust. And with the rain and thunderstorms, I definitely wouldn't do that in a hammock. It's too. Anything's too hard. I like the challenge. That's why I knew this was going to be hard to do this, because there's so many variables with rain and wind and trying to keep everything dry, and the tarp being pitched at the right angle, and if the wind shifts and the rain shifts, you might have to repitch it, and then it's hard to, then you got your stuff like on the ground outside, you got to try to keep that dry, which I have that under my rain jacket and my pack liner or my pack cover. So it's just a lot of moving parts when you're in bad weather with a hammock, unless you have one of those like crazy, and this is a hammock like I've done. It's my war bonnet hammock, the underquilt I got from Cabela's. The bug net is one of the Wise Owl bug nets, and then it's the same thing with the tarp. So it's a setup that I've kind of I put together myself, over time. I guess if you spent $300 or $400 on one of those all-in-one, like you just strap it to the tree and it turns into basically a hanging tent, you'd probably be all right with one of those. But when you're doing it like this, you want to have the variables with it. For sometimes if it's cold, I might not want to bring a bug net, or if the weather's gonna be really nice, you might not need the tarp. So I can take things on and off. When it gets hotter out, I won't need the underquilt. So you got those options, which is what I like. But sometimes options can be a bad thing. What time is it? 10:15. 10:15. We're getting there. Well, I'm glad I got out and adjusted it. It's from here. She's coming down. I was saying earlier, I listen to this on TV at home to help me go to sleep. It's a little bit different in real life. Singing in the rain. Got wind coming, that's what I didn't want. Kids, don't try this at home. Good morning. Current time is 7:30. Whereabouts. It was a long night. I thought it would be rain the entire night. It's still sprinkling. I mean, it's never really stopped. And the wind started kicking in. Not consistent wind, but just like some big wind gusts will come through. A couple of times. Two times it tore the stakes out of the ground. Tarp started flapping everywhere. So I had to jump out and readjust that situation. My bug net is wet above me. And let's see what I would do down the foot box down there. Actually, it looks like it's dried up some. So. Yeah, I got the tarp angled a little better. But still, when the wind comes through, it water up underneath here. I'm dry. I'm warm. Have to get this show on the road. Get up out of here. Hopefully none of these little creeks and rivers and streams I had to cross yesterday. Hopefully the water levels didn't rise up too high. That'd be a bummer.
Our suck factor is going up quite precipitously. Yeah. Dumping water.
Just singing in the rain. Does anybody actually know any other words of that song? That's the only ones I know. Singing in the rain. That's one part you ever seen. I don't even watch that movie. Huh. I'm doing some singing in the rain today.
Yeah. Officially back on the Foothills Trail. That was an interesting pack up this morning. The backpack weighs, oh man, like 6 or 7 pounds more. Just because everything's wet and soaked in there. So you're carrying all that extra weight. You feel it. Yesterday when I left, I had my base weight was right around 18. My food and water, I was a little over 20 pounds I was carrying. This morning I probably got a good 27, 28, just because of all the water. As you can see, the weather is great. Gonna take our time. 7:30. I try not to overheat because I don't want to start stripping off layers right now. Got about 2 miles of uphill, and then the last 4 miles should be all downhill. So we'll see how that goes. I was able to turn the wind into an advantage this morning and dry the jacket out because it was soaking wet. That would have sucked not having a rain jacket. So I hung it up under the tarp. The wind dried out. I guess that's what we call a phoenix flower. Rises from the flame. Talk about creepiness back here, out here like this. You can only see like 25 yards in front of you. It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while. I'm interested to see if I'll see anybody else out here today. Anybody else as nutty as me. It's what I call a good time. I don't know battery. It's my trail. Freaking flash flood almost here. Got lightning. For those who don't know, here from South Florida, from birth, they teach you how to calculate lightning distance. As you know, we get thunderstorms every day. And right now it's about 11 miles away. Just counting Mississippi's between the flash and the sound. And however many Mississippis is how many miles. Keep doing that. Hope is takes more Mississippis than just moving away from you. So getting less Mississippis in between the flash and the sound means lightning's heading towards you. Now I'm gonna start thinking about shelter. This is brutal, boy. This ain't no joke.
All right, so right here is where about the audio issues start to kick in big time. Obviously, it's very windy up on the top of that ridge, but that is the ridge from the day before that you can see the entire South Carolina there in the background. It is completely enveloped in clouds. The wind is just whipping by. I don't know 20 plus miles an hour, 30 plus miles an hour, so you can't hear anything. And then I'm kind of crawling down this rock face because everything is wet, and the last thing I want to do is slip on the rocks while I'm going down. So I took my time going down and used my trekking poles, dug them into the rocks, and made sure that I didn't slip by accident. But upcoming here is where I'm about to get a little bit lost, so this gets interesting.
You can hear that wind whipping up there. Man, as crazy as it is, it's awesome. Alright, changed up the battery, so I had to stop. I had to do a gnarly river crossing back here. It's what my fear was, all this rain, these crossings get washed out. So I had to hike back up the trail. I found it where it got a little more narrow. There's a log, I got across there. But now the trail is back way over there somewhere. I've got to bushwhack through all this to find the trail back over here. So there's the trail going down that way. And it's wrapping around the river all the way down there. So I came across here. The trail should be over there. We'll find out.
All right, so this is actually my second trip through this area. While I was bushwhacking through everything, the audio is really bad here. I was crawling under trees, over trees, under trees, through branches, thorn bushes. It was definitely bushwhacking. I could have used a machete. In the process, usually I keep my GoPro in one of my side pockets. It's kind of wedged down in there pretty good. But as I was hiking through there, it got pulled out by a bush, I guess, somewhere along the lines, and I lost it. So not only was I going way off trail and being lost already, I had to go backtrack and try to find my GoPro, which was laying in the middle of everything I had just bushwhacked through, which was pretty crazy. I almost was at the point of just leaving it because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to find it. The GoPro does have a ping feature on it, so you can like ping it so it'll start making noise to find it, but I couldn't get my phone to work because the screen and everything was so wet that my touch screen wasn't working right. So here's one of those good examples where if you start relying on electronics too much, you can get in a little bit of trouble. But luckily I did go back, I backtracked, I found it. I had my phone working enough to where I could get my direction, my compass direction, and I knew where the trail was supposed to be. So right here I'm coming kind of down off this ridge after crossing a river and being lost for probably the last half an hour. Well, not being lost, but just tracking through woods and bush and just way off trail. And I kind of come over the ridge right here and I find the trail again, which is basically just like a little stream at this point going through the middle of the forest, which is pretty crazy. There it is right there. That's your trail. And so then I just kind of recalibrate, get my direction again, make sure I'm heading the right way, and carry on from there.
I think it's that way. Little spot, everybody stops on the Foothills Trail. About 2.5 miles to the end. It's usually a trickle, like in the summertime. People are doing this. Now it's like a waterfall. I gotta walk under it. It's pretty fun. My wife has always wanted to go to Jamaica where you can go into the waterfalls there. Like in the cocktail. You don't need that. You got that one right here. I'm already soaking wet. Dude, let's lay down. Stop dying. Better. Woo! Look at the GoPro can hold up. Ah. Oh, that's a slippery one. Alright, we're gonna go down here. Get around the outskirts of this bad boy. Oh! Nice. Oh, you guys want to see them? Dude, this fuck's still my walk.
Alright, so here we are again. We're walking up through the trail here. We got tons of these as like miniature waterfalls that started coming down through that weren't there the day before. The audio again is just really bad in the video. It sounds like I'm underwater the whole time I'm talking. So I'm crossing several of these, thinking these aren't too bad. Kind of on the home stretch here, not knowing what's up ahead of me here as I get a little further down. So my hopes are getting up. I'm thinking about that post-hike meal that I'm going to have, and not really aware of the challenge I'm about to have ahead of me here in just a few minutes. So yeah, we get to this point of our journey. We're only about a half a mile actually from the front of where I got to come in at, but I have to cross this river about 2 or 3 times to get out. And after the second crossing of it is when I started to just kind of reconsider what I was doing, if it was safe, and if I should actually be doing that. So you'll kind of see here in these next scenes how that played out.
Quickest way to get back to the trailhead there, you just jump in there, takes you right back down.
So yeah, right here in these scenes you can see the look on my face kind of changes from I'm having a good time to this is my concerned face, because I'm starting to realize that I've got to cross this thing a couple times, and there's a good chance I might not be making it out today. And I'm just a half a mile from the trailhead, which is like killing me. So this is my thinking face here. I'm going, okay, what am I going to do? What are my next steps? I don't want to do anything stupid and get myself into danger. So I gotta play it safe, but I'm so close. And that's that look on my face that you're seeing here right now.
Alright, there's the bridges I gotta cross. This looks safe. Ooh, that's moving.
So in these next couple clips, pay special attention to my hands and my face and how dirty they are, because I've actually been crawling on my hands and knees to get up the side of a mountain.
Man, less than half a mile ago, whole thing's washed out. You can't get across the river. That big torrential thing coming through. So here I am, bushwhacking again. Instead of doing a little weave around, I'm just going over the mountain. Straight line, baby. Shortest point. Here I am, way off trail again. I just bushwhacked all the way down. From the top, that ridge went over the top. Ranger station should be due this way, due east, due west. Road trail system should be straight this way. I just keep going. I should pop right back out. So, that was a gnarly crossing to begin with. I wasn't doing it twice. I was like, I'd rather just hike up a mountain, bushwhack my way through here. Yeah, this is the last, like less than half a mile. This trail's kicking my butt to the very end. Dang. Yeah, that started at 7:30. It is now, I don't even know, my watch went dead. I put that one in the books, it's done. Now the sun's out. I could have just hunkered down the whole day. It was raining and just started hiking out now. That's gonna go down. After the end, it was close. My trip that I did with Journeyman Outfitters, when we were up in the snow, Had to hike out in the snow booties. That was a tough trip. But this one, up to the end, I was still like, no, that one was tougher. To the end, this one got tougher. This one took. And it was the last half mile of the trip. And that torrent of rain came down. Couldn't get across any of those river crossings. I had to do several really insane river crossings. They're super dangerous. You slip, you fall, you die. That's basically it. And then the way the trail was, I was gonna have to do it again. And I was like, I'm not doing any more of these. And I know how they lay out these trails, but they zigzag them. I was like, nope. I was like, I bet I can go right over this mountain and plop right back out to the parking lot. But I stopped, pulled a bit GPS, plotted a course. I was like, I looked over, it was like straight up. So I probably did 1,000 feet of elevation in like a half a mile. Yeah. So I just started, I was slipping and sliding down the thing, trying to get up it. Everything was wet. My pack's getting snagged up on everything. There's thorn bushes going in me, snagging on all my stuff. It was nuts. But I got up to the peak and I looked down and the river had gone around and it was still there. I was like, freaking river's still here. But I knew there was a an overpass by the parking lot where in the river, I know they diverted into that lake there. And I was like, that river has to turn and go into that lake. So if I just keep going up, following the side of this mountain, and get past that bridge, then I can just go straight down and plop right out on the road. That's what I did. I finally found it. I mean, I was crawling through some crap. And, I popped right out on the road. Okay, there were no rangers coming by watching me come meandering down off of the. And the ironic part is, I get down to the road. Right when I get down to the road, it's like, you know, Moses in the Red Sea. It's like the clouds parted and the sun came out. It's like blue skies with white clouds right when I got off of the road. So like the whole time I was in there, it was just pouring down rain, crazy. Now it's beautiful weather. So yeah, you never know. That was fun. That was hard. That last section was hard. That was fun.